Now getting the thumb, and also the microphone is working. Hey, warmly welcome to AI Monday Helsinki. Autumn is here, even though I see plenty of people still in t-shirts and thinking it's summer out there. We have a theme today, and it's AI startups in Finland. So let's see how cool, hot company presentations we will get. As commonly, we will first hear a few words about FCAI, Finnish Center of Artificial Intelligence. Docent Patrick Florin, please join me on the stage, and the microphone is there. Actually, to save time, let's get started right away.
Yes, thanks. So, I'm from the Finnish Center for Artificial Intelligence, Patrick Florin. I have put my accent on the wrong E again as normal, but who cares? And I just wanted to tell about some events going on. So first of all, Finnish Center for AI, which we deliberately mispronounce FCAI when we use the abbreviation, yearly arranges a big event for several hundred people called the AI Day. This year it's together with something called a Nordic AI Meet, which has been going around the Nordic countries. It was in Copenhagen last year, and this is now a joint event and will happen in the main building of the university, so in the building there, in October. And what is nice is that actually a lot of arrangers of different events have co-located their events to the same week, so one could say it's a kind of AI week. There is something called contestations.ai. The AI Finland is arranging an AI gala. Maybe we hear a few words about that soon. There is something called Sujuva Suomi webinar, where one of FCAI's people, Heikki Ailisto, is presenting. It's a webinar, so that's online. FCAI is establishing a new special interest group about AI and quantum computing, and then the Finnish AI region, which is an European digital innovation hub, with the aim of helping small and medium-sized companies in digitalization, especially related to AI, has a networking event on Friday the same week. So quite a lot of things will happen in October. And just to list a few of FCAI's own events, so they are, many of them, very much towards researchers. But there is this event in this very place on the 26th, so this week, about ML ops in industry. That's actually an event presenting results from a project. But you can also come to that event if you want to. There is a registration, but as you know, this is an open space, so maybe not that important. And then some other news. I think many of you know that our government put a lot of money towards PhD positions, 3-year funding for PhD positions. And for AI, we got 100 positions for 10 universities. So this was a nationwide collaboration we had. So from our 100 positions, 76 were chosen in the first round. And in the first round, we got around 2,500 applications. And now the second round has closed, and we have 24 positions left, as you can easily calculate, 100 minus 76. And we got some around 800 applications for those positions. So we are really happy about that we are able to choose high-level participants. And now I think it's time for me to stop, unless anybody has a fast question. I will stay until the end of the event, so if you have something to tell me, I will be here, and we can go, I think, to the next topic.
Thank you, Patrick. And we are living exciting moments because I did correct your name. So I wonder, do we have the right deck in the system here or not? But hey, without any further ado, AI Finland is a rather, I believe, new driving force in Finland. We have two wonderful ladies here, Karoliina Partanen leading AI Finland, and Iida Lähdemäki. The next 20 minutes is yours. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Good evening, everyone. Great to be here today. We are Karoliina and Iida from AI Finland, and we are here today to tell you what AI Finland is all about. So, we are initiated by Technology Industries of Finland. Are you aware of this organization? It's called Teknologiateollisuus. Yeah, everybody knows that in Finnish, yes. Okay, so it's very important for Technology Industries of Finland, TIF, or Teknologiateollisuus, that we will accelerate AI usage in Finland. That's basically our future. And they have put 13 million investment in AI. And we in AI Finland are just a small amount of that huge investment. Okay, this is not actually working, but you will see it there in a small slice of this big cake. We are also funding international talent recruitment from universities abroad. We are cooperating AI projects as a seed funding for companies who are members of TIF and who are doing AI projects. And we are also giving scholarships for theses. So if you are a student and you want to make your thesis about AI for a company who is a member of TIF, you will grant a 20K scholarship. So if we have students here, be aware. And also the House of AI Research Center in Aalto is partially funded by us. We granted 3.2 million euros for that as well. And then we have this 1 million, which is funding for us in AI Finland. And now what AI Finland is all about. So we are a network for companies and other organizations interested in AI. And by AI, we not only mean generative AI, but all the AI technologies. And we not only want companies to utilize the AI technologies innovated in America by the big tech companies, but we rather want our local companies and organizations to innovate on top of AI. And that's how we want our country to grow and flourish. And yes, and that will basically happen by accelerating the application and development of AI instead of just adopting AI. And about the last bullet, as said, we are now under Technology Industries of Finland, but in the future we will be an independent organization funded and guided by our members. Then about our vision, Iida will soon explain how we are going to make this happen, but I always like to see the big picture, and now I get to tell you some of the visions we have for 2030. Unfortunately, these headers or headlines are in Finnish because it would not be credible to have kauppalehti headers in English. But our first unofficial goal is that we will exceed Sweden for the first time ever in productivity. Of course, it's always most important thing to beat Sweden. Then we also want to decrease the depth of Finland by means of AI. We also want to be on the first spot in AI index. Now, this is actually very new information which came out last Thursday. We are now on the spot 15. And we lost 10 spots. We used to be 10th last year, but now we are on the spot 15. So we have lots of room for improvement here. And Finally, what would we be without AI unicorns? Today we get to hear a couple of great examples from Finnish startups, and of course we in AI Finland want to help them to become these AI unicorns. Okay, I think that's enough for visions. Next, I will hand over to Ida, and unfortunately I have family urgency to run to, but Ida will tell more about our goals.
Thank you, Karoliina. This is easy to continue after those visions. Now I'll tell you how to make it happen, and she runs home, so thanks. But no worries. So my goal is to tell you a bit more about what exactly AI Finland does, what's the role of AI Finland, and how do we fit into this vibrant ecosystem. Well, first of all, AI Finland as a business, as a company network, we are here to really bring the ecosystem of businesses, companies together and act as a catalyst when it comes to concrete experience-based information across companies, across industries, so really cross-contamination of concrete examples of what the companies are doing when it comes to AI adoption and development. I'll tell you more about this a bit later, why this is so important, although I guess it is already quite self-evident. In addition to really bringing those concrete examples from companies to another, we are here to build a vibrant community to enable networking, because networking itself is super important and valuable. So, and this is something that we hear from the companies that already are part of the network. They really value the opportunity to come together to events like this, to talk to people from different companies and industries and share experiences. Of course, also, and I will show you who and what kind of companies and businesses and organizations are part of our network already today, but for some of them, and for many of them, visibility and reaching the right target audience is an important theme as being part of this network. And last but not least, the opportunity to influence through a network like this is super important. We are not an influencer itself as a network, but as being part of TIF, the Technology Industries of Finland, we have a great channel to influence things in those themes and matters that are important for the companies in the network. And what does the network look like today? As said earlier, we're still quite a new network. We were founded, so to say, in March this year, and our operation started only in August. Nevertheless, 340 companies, organizations have told that they really want to be part of AI Finland's operations or activities. And that's a great sign for us that there really was a demand and need for this kind of a network. This is already a bit outdated information because we have newcomers joining us every day. But we have around 100 companies from different industries of different sizes. So we have large enterprises, but also small and mid-sized companies in the network. And these around 100 companies are here really to find out and better understand what the others are doing, learning from one another. We have also separated around 35-40 healthcare operators into its own work stream, so to say. And why did we do this? Why do we show that there are around 35-40 healthcare operators in the network? It's basically because healthcare sector has very specific challenges and needs when it comes to AI. For example, regulation plays a huge role in this sector. In addition, and this is very relevant to today, we have more than 50 AI startups who have who have informed their willingness to be part of this network. And this is super important for us, as you already saw in the vision slide. We really want to be relevant for these startups as well. We want to be enabling business for them through these 100 plus companies, bigger, large enterprises and small and mid-sized companies. Perhaps we can find new business through this network for them, and many other channels that we hope to influence their business positively. Last but not least, we also have more than 100 AI service providers, such as consultants, in the network. And of course, they are here to find out what's happening in the in Finnish businesses. But also, we see them as a great way to share learnings and share their insights of AI more broadly to other members of the network. We also have public sector actors. We have different associations as our partners. And what have we done so far? What's actually been going on during this autumn? We started by hosting kickoff workshops for altogether 180 companies and organizations. We've now met 100 of these, hosted workshops for 100. We still have a couple of these kind of kickoff workshops left. And we started by identifying challenges when it comes to AI adoption, AI development in these companies. And why challenges? It might sound depressing to start from challenges, but we really saw that by mapping and identifying those challenges, we could also map and identify which of the challenges are common for these companies in the network. And that way we can focus our efforts and focus our operations and activities to really support the most relevant areas. So 80 plus challenges, and I don't think that any of these are a huge surprise for anyone. But really, starting from the SME sector, I think that one of the most common challenge when it comes to accelerating development and application of AI in these companies was basically lack of examples. The companies are asking how to identify opportunities, where to even start from. And this is something that we really want to correct, so to say, because then again, we see a lot of companies that have been doing a lot of things, great things during the past years, even decades when it comes to AI. And we want to make sure that the companies that are in their early stages can learn from the ones that are more advanced. Competence, I guess this is one of the key questions anywhere. How to really scale skills, how to change processes, how to make sure that people keep on learning and they're willing to learn throughout the organization, not only the experts. How to find the right talent is also a great question. How about data? I guess data is always interesting, and when we talk about AI, there is no need for AI in many cases if there is not enough data. So data production quality, data foundations, fragmented data, standardization, resources in general, but I guess also really getting the right resources for AI development. So then the questions are like how to calculate the ROI of an AI investment, or how to focus on the right things, how to really make sure that we focus on the right things. And security, privacy, AI ethics, rules, standards, regulation, laws. Really, as said, none of these are huge surprises, but when we speak to the companies in the network, we really see that the problems, the challenges they face are common. They really can benefit from talking to one another and learning from one another. So, we've identified challenges, then what? Next, what's going to happen is, and we've already started this work, so we'll transform these challenges, not all of them, but the most common ones, into tangible work streams based on the preferences of the network. So some of the examples of themes that we've already identified is, for example, best practices for gathering and prioritizing AI ideas within an organization, or increasing the acceptability of AI solutions within our organization or more broadly. We've also talked a lot about regulation and how we can actually combine our forces when it comes to, for example, startups, and how we can support the startup world where resources, of course, are, or there are a lot less resources than in these bigger companies to combat the challenges and the questions that arise. Based on these challenges and the discussions we've had with the companies in the network, we'll start, as said, very specific work streams with more focused groups or working groups, in addition to which we have a lot of other activities. So we'll start, for example, webinars, and well, there is abundance of webinars in this world about AI, but we'll really focus on very concrete case examples from the network, from the companies, where we don't need to find the big only one truth, but we'll focus on how one specific company is tackling one specific area. So really dividing these bigger questions into more tangible and smaller pieces. In addition to which, we will be hosting sparring sessions, this kind of networking sessions, bringing these companies and people together. And just as one example, we're also hosting Finland's first AI Awards Gala in this October. And why so? What is an AI Awards Gala? We are going to award the best AI deeds, best AI companies, and best AI acts in Finland, because we also want to show that we are doing great things within AI when it comes to Finnish businesses and the Finnish society more broadly. So we don't need to be ashamed of what's happening here at the moment, but we really need to remember that we need to keep up the speed, because this world is changing and developing fast. Just another example of what we're doing with these 300+ organizations. We have, so to say, the critical mass to be able to really gather groups to focus themes such as companies that are just working on their data foundations, or they're already working on their first or second production implementation, or they want to spar with one another about culture and competence, how to organize trainings, how to utilize shared data. So as said, more specific themes with more focused working groups from this on. And I think that I'm running out of time, so key takeaways. First of all, AI Finland is a newly founded network that's open for all kinds of actors. So we're not only for the members of TIF, Technology Industries of Finland. We really want to make sure that we have members from different industries, different organizations, to make sure that we are able to share learnings and experiences with one another. We focus on bringing together companies to share concrete examples, best practices, and ways of working. And we are here to raise the spirit and courage to accelerate the application and development of AI in Finland, because the time is now. It's really a matter of this time. We cannot afford to wait anymore. So, thank you so much. And if you want to hear more about the network, you can just leave your information there, and we'll give you the next instructions on how to join. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ida, and thank you, Karoliina, who already escaped the room. Actually, you may take the microphone and pass it to our next speaker there, who is Valto Loikkanen. Warmly welcome, Valto, on the stage. To all speakers, when I stand up, out of your 10 minutes, it means that 8 minutes has gone. I sit down. If I stand up again, it means that 9 minutes is gone, and I say 1 minute. It means you have 1 minute to go. Are rules clear? 10 minutes, please.
All right. Thank you very much for inviting. So I'm Valto Loikkanen, and I'm going to be talking about the talking product. So one quick alert. There's going to be plenty of QR codes to scan, so pick your phone and make sure you scan the codes along the way. So I'm a UX and product guy. I'm a co-founder at Digiole, and which is basically providing this product as a service, software as a service. And I'm also a co-founder in a company called Prefina, where I work as a Chief Experience Officer. So here's my AI twin. So you can also chat with me while I'm talking, asking about the presentation, asking about my life if you are curious. But basically you can check anything that I'm speaking about and the previous slide, if you will. So where do we focus with Digiole? So most of the AI things that have existed in the past and what exist in the active conversations are focused on internal productivity, so increasing things internally in the company, business processes, and so forth. But we are more interested on the market side, so actually creating new experiences, creating new products to the markets that actually get to utilize these new technologies. So with talking product AI, basically any product can come to life as a digital persona. That means that customers can just simply talk with the products. So something like that has never been possible before, realistically. So what do you do when you actually make your product come to life? Talking is the most natural interface that exists. We are all born with that capability, well, not right away, but in a couple of years we learn to speak. So computers have been clumsy with so awful interfaces. I have had to struggle decades with those. So talking is an amazing new interface that you can basically bring any information to life. Not only that, these new tools give us ways to talk in any language, myself included. You can talk even Swedish, which I don't know that well as a Finnish person. But not only that, they also offer a technical interface. So it's not only different languages between humans and computers. These new AIs know how to talk computers to computers throughout the same interface. So what are the key components of the talking product AI? Basically, there's three significant aspects. One is the knowledge base, which encapsulates all of your product information at unlimited levels of content that you can have. Then you have the AI persona, a digital persona, that you should align with your product brand, however you want that to be represented. And final, and maybe the biggest new thing for any company, is the insights that you can capture through interactions that happen through these digital personas. So consider the knowledge base. You can put all your product information, your brand information, your company information, and you can keep going and going. Brand story, product history, recipes for products, instructions, and so forth. And not only that, it's actually a very efficient knowledge management tool because you don't have to worry about information architecture or how do you organize that information. That part is done automatically. So think of going beyond your individual product details so you can have the basic things. Let's imagine a popcorn by, let's say, Texas popcorn, and you can have the brand and all the things about that. But not only that, you can have the whole history of popcorn, the ways, funny tips about that, how do you cook with popcorns, what's the origin of that, and so forth. And then you can be on, product category like snacks if you are maker of such products. As such, you have then interactive AI persona that basically delivers that information, and it can also personalize it in contextual way, considering are you scanning that and having that conversation in the store, or are you having it at the home with your products? Now think about that. All of us have hundreds of products in our daily life on a weekly basis, throughout our life, throughout our different life situations. So that leads to insights. So all of these interactions are fully transparent to the product owner. You can see all the conversations happening by all of the individuals having those conversations in real time. And of course, these are anonymized by default, and if you want to take it further, then there's solutions for that as well. I'll get to those as well. So one, you can think of it like, okay, this is raw data, it's just the interactions, what happens, but what you can do with that is you can drive that automatically through sentiment analysis for positive, negative, is it a task that someone is trying to complete, what type of scenarios are they interacting, and so forth. And this takes me to the QR codes. So QR codes are really the bridge between the physical world and the digital world. So QR codes are obviously growing like weeds everywhere. There's many reasons for that. COVID was one with your, like vaccination card. But nevertheless, you look at the products today in stores, you can see more and more of them. Here's one of the most recent studies just from this month, basically, that gives that specifically the next generation is expecting way more than you can put in the physical product labels. So it's very simple. Here's our demo product. It's actually circulating somewhere here. We have 2 beer cans that you can experience that feeling, scan the code, open that interface. It's all about the experience itself. It's not just the theoretical thing that you have to imagine. So scan the code. You don't need any special applications or devices. It's just your phone that knows how to take it to the website, and it's a standard browser interface. So let's look at some examples. So we made this made-up beer because one of the aha moments for us was in sauna, of course, in Finland. So anyway, you can chat with the beer, have a conversation. I'm not saying that, well, you can do it if you're lonely with the beer, but it's just fun stuff out there. This is a one product. We wanted to also make an interesting product that is totally new, that you for sure would be curious as a Finnish person, again, related to sauna. So this is a new type of sauna scoop, and I'm not going to tell you more about the product because you can scan the code and learn yourself, but it's quite interesting, and it has a very touching story of a family business behind it as well. And of course, there's a talking product AI about talking product, because of course there should be. So as I said, a lot of QR codes. So consumer benefits. So it's instant access to relevant product information and way beyond. It's context-specific responses based on the usage and available at any language without any extra cost. For businesses, it provides support limitless information, so you can have extremely vast amount of information without any consideration. How do we organize this information? It's from brand-specific details to further on, continuously expandable without any added complexity. Most importantly, it's way better customer experience. That's the key. That's where the background comes from. And deeper insights about the behavior of your information. It's like being a fly in the room when other people talk about your product. And the best of all, these technologies are really effective and affordable. So I put an example here from our pricing. You can get going with 39 euros a month for single product, and you get all of this out of the bat, and you can be having this in your products in 2 weeks. It basically scales from there to large installations for companies that have hundreds of products. It can be integrated to your systems and so forth, but obviously that goes into more custom support needs. And the beauty of that is that any information you update, everyone has that problem of how do we should update our website because we have new things. Here you can just drop new information in, and it's right after that it's available to all customers interacting with the product. So on the privacy side, we are partnering with personal data technology by Prefina, of course, considering my own background. But this basically enables to use very rich personal data in the interactions while maintaining GDPR compliance, so that no personal data information is exposed to the brand owner. It's more at the demographics level. So future potential, you can imagine if you start now, what are all the AR, VR things coming, what are all the robots coming, all of those different things in the future. How does your products integrate into that future if it doesn't have a smarter interface to do so? So the customer interface development, what we see is that this is the current very analog, very manual interaction that happens. When we go forward with product AI, we can see that now we can have 24/7 unlimited interactions at any language happening with your product information and the customers. But it doesn't stop there, obviously. The world keeps going, and on the other side, on the customer side, there's going to be more and more personal AIs, because we are also helping to build those, that interact with product information directly from AI to AI. So you don't want to have humans communicating with AIs when you have AIs on the customer side. So basically, it means that you need to start scaling up today. That's it. Thank you. That was Talking Product, and I'm Valto Loikkanen, and here's my AI twin again.
Thank you, Valto. Where are the two cans circulating in the audience? There's one. Is it empty? Okay, pass them around. Cool. We can start to talk with products and learn from them. Next 10 minutes, 180 Ops, Toni Keskinen, warmly welcome to the stage.
Thank you. Thank you. Absolutely great to be here today. Thank you for inviting me. And great pleasure to introduce you to 180 Ops Revenue Intelligence Platform. My name is Toni Keskinen. I'm the Chief Product Officer and one of the founding partners of the company. And my history is in turning data and research into insights. For the past 25 years, I've been working on as an advertising planner, as a loyalty program designer, marketing architect to design how do we communicate with customers with maximal ROI. And all during this time, I've also published 5 books, which means that it's been empirical journey, learning from practice that what makes things work. And actually, along with me, all my partners, founding partners, are the same type of people. And we feel that 180 Ops is something that is actually turning our lifetime of experience into a machine. And it looks like it's something that companies also and markets actually value. We were just selected in August as the most innovative new business software in 24. And some pretty big companies in Finland are already using our technology. And along with that, we also started collaborating with Microsoft from the very beginning, but now we are in an ISV success program, and Microsoft is starting to sell us, which means that the companies are making a deal with Microsoft, and when they pay, they actually use our product, and Microsoft pays us. Now, everything started with a very big problem. Raise your hands who have been asked to deliver more with less in your work lives. Well, that's the pain, and that the pain comes from the need to constantly produce more with less. This is something that is really today's challenge. If you look at the current situation about burnouts and people feeling really bad at their jobs, it's a lot of that it has to do with the fact that it's really difficult to really make sense of the environment we are living in, and how do we succeed, how do we work in a ways that produce maximal outcomes. Salespeople especially are feeling this. According to Gartner, almost 90% of salespeople are at the verge of burnout. more than half are looking for new jobs. If you look at the Finnish statistics, in Finland, salespeople's average tenure is 1 year, 9 months, and the break-even would be around 2 years and 3 months. So hiring salespeople is, in average, counterproductive. Sales directors have a challenge. How do we bring together the kind of perspective that the management and customer interfacing people would have the same perception of the reality? The outcome is also that when people experience that the quotas and expectations and budgets they are being given are impossible, they leave their jobs. They look for something else. And this is something that is also at an epidemic levels in the international environment. So sales directors and management in general, they have two big burning questions they need to answer. What is this goal based on? How are we doing our budgeting? How are we defining what is the growth rate that the companies are expecting to do? And at an individual level, how do I, as a person, how do I make that quota? Now, if you look at any business intelligence tools or dashboards that companies are using, they have two things in common. Number one, there's some internal object at the center of everything. You have the company's financials, you have the product as such, you have channels, campaigns, salespeople, and all that data tells you is that there's something changing, but it doesn't really give answers why that change is happening. So what can you actually do about those changes? Are you happy about we need to understand what are the levers we need to influence in order to do better. And now the other fact is that it's mostly historical. So it looks into the past, not into the future. And when we are making decisions today, we are expecting those decisions to deliver tomorrow, not yesterday. How 180ops is addressing this challenge is by considering customers as sensors in the marketplace. So learning from history is the way to be predictable, to create the capability of predicting something. The companies no longer have challenge of not having enough data. The challenge of data availability is already pretty much done with. It's more about making sense of that data. Companies are storing huge amounts of data about customer relationships in billing, in CRM, in customer success tools like, for example, ticketing, about what's happening in the customer relationships. A lot of that data, well, that own data alone can give you a lot of answers, but it doesn't give you the full view. We also need to enrich it with external data about companies. If they grow or decline, if they hire or fire, if they buy other companies, if they do an M&A, what's happening in those companies influences those customer relationships. And all these companies also exist in a macroeconomic environment. If you think about the situation right now, the economic policy uncertainty is at the record heights. It has never been as volatile and unpredictable as it is now. The inflation levels, the interest level changes, consumer and business confidence indexes are changing rapidly. So when the macroeconomic situations change, they influence the companies, and that drives also changes in the customer relationships. So what is 180ops' role is that we bring all that data together. It's like a factory with production and assembly lines, doing hundreds of millions of calculations and delivering end products. So revenue and profit potential, customers at risk, customers that are ready to buy and more likely to buy right now, forecasts and scenarios. And making that possible is something that gives answers to a wide range of decision makers in an organization. So how does that actually look like? At an individual business ID level, whether it's a customer or a hunting target like new logo that we are addressing, this is the view that you get. So what is the current rolling 12 months billing, what is the next 12 months billing expected to be, and in which offerings is the growth potential that we can look for and go after. This is for key account managers, the answers that for whom, when and why do I need to talk to in order to make my quota and close the deals. It's not just that we look at individual companies, it's actually the whole market, existing and potential customers. And the volume of this is pretty significant. If, for example, we look at that single data point there and draw a calculation including 3 years of data, that is 160 million calculations in one view, and it comes out in 2 milliseconds, which tells a little bit about what kind of factory we are talking about. We need to really be aware of how do we actually create value. And very often, analysts are kind of thinking that when we get the right answer, the job is done, which is not true. It needs to be to the right person at the right time in an understandable format where the decisions are made. And that's where platformization and what we've created with 180 Ops kind of makes the companies actually gain the value that the technology drives. Thank you very much, and if you're interested, there's more to follow. You can contact me, or for example, we are just launching an Optima podcast series with Optima partners, which will be available in LinkedIn, and if you follow 180 Ops or subscribe to CRO Digest in LinkedIn newsletter, you will get notified about those. Thank you.
Thank you, Toni. If I didn't say it in the beginning, at the end we will take all the AI companies up here and we'll take questions, so think about them. And those who are on the line, Sampo, there's a way to put questions into the chat, yeah. So feel free to put questions into the platform where you're following this. Third AI startup, Radar Vasenius. A few years ago we used to study in the same place. Well, it's more like 3 decades ago, but good to see good to see you here. So Radar, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us. Very good to be here. The reason I'm here is because audio and voices are everywhere. And I guess I need to start by apologizing in particular to the gentleman here. Occasionally when you're trying to reach your smarter and more beautiful partner, there might be a strange guy telling you off, not allowing you to speak with her, saying something potentially like, tavoittelemani henkilö puhuu toista puhelua. Olkaa hyvä ja odottakaa sulkematta puhelinta. Personen ni försöker nå talar ett annat samtal. Var god dröj utan att avbryta samtalet. Your girlfriend is with me right now. Don't call again. Or something to that effect. Yes. So I've been the voice of Telecom Finland /Telia for 32 years now. So I've been annoying you for more than a generation already. So sorry about that. Equally, gentlemen, ladies, I need to apologize also because when you're traveling, you're trying to rest or just take a nap or work, there is this annoying guy who keeps bugging you with all kinds of unnecessary crap like Pasila, Tikkurila, Tampere, junassa on diskovaunu, hyvää matkaa. I just recently celebrated my 10th anniversary as the voice of the National Public Railway Company. So voices are everywhere. And I started as a voice 45 years ago, actually this autumn, at Yleisradio, before my voice broke as a boyish voice. And it's very clear that now when we're using apps to listen to audiobooks, and there is a growing number of very sophisticated chats, as well as automated telephone services, podcasts, etc., the consumption of audio is really booming, as we all know. So it's a multi-tens of billions industry of just producing the voices, the speech for that. Now, I am going to be replaced. A couple of years ago, I couldn't talk about it. Today, I can. It's sort of well, it's public. The National Railway Company, it will have AI voices, and they're in the process of tendering those, etc. So I'll be replaced in many places, especially since I have as my clients also companies like the Tax Authority, Customs Finland, Tulli, the Finnish Defense Forces, the police, Ulosottolaitos, and other organizations like that. So explaining things in a sensible way is already easily replaceable today. Now, after a LinkedIn posting, there were numerous media. There was a lot of media attention, and I was approached by individuals with whom we've now founded Lexofon. Not only do companies and everybody need great voices, but there also needs to be fair play, keeping human beings at the center of things. Because you could just generate totally, completely artificial voice. But when you have really talented, since birth, talented, as well as experienced human beings who for decades used their voice and used that as a basis to create the voices, that's by far when you get the best results. AI is good at many things, but building it upon humans, keeping them in the game is absolutely crucial. And that's why the fair play here is absolutely essential. These are my co-founders. I'm the CEO co-founder. We have Mr. Tero Laiho here, as you can see here. And we're happy to talk to you more. We have everything we need in our team, including legal, and we're growing right now. So I'm happy to say we're an exceptionally, an unusually strong team from day one. We're recently founded just before the summer, but as it happens, thanks to these top individuals and our partners, Null Venture, who is building the underlying technology for us right now. And in October, to our friendly first customers, our service is actually going to be out with sweat equity. We don't have investments yet. I'll get back to that at the very end. Kaiden is a top-notch company building our service and our user experience together with Tero, who is here. Laissa provides us with a top-notch legal expertise because there are lots of challenges legally, as we know. S2 helps us really have a strong financial, economic foundation, and we're actually located at Epicenter just next door. Very happy to endorse all of these. So we've been all over the media during the past 8-9 months, actually, before we were founded, and hence sekä ruotsiksi, och på finska, and in English. And this is really what we've recognized to be the key here. There are companies who need growing amounts of voice contents, mostly for marketing, communications, and customer service. Happy to elaborate in discussions after this. But that's clearly where we need to serve companies. They are underserved, and they need quality. And they need it quickly, conveniently, and at lower costs. However, our business model enables our human voice artists, who are at the core of this, to get almost as much money as they would had they gone into a studio and done it by themselves with a real voice. So sitting at home, they'll be earning money, which is almost as much as had they gone to a studio to give their voice. And that lies at the very core of what we're doing. And it's still going to be a viable business, thanks to our business model. So the treatment of voice artists comes up here again. Now, the solution is the ultimate instrument, the Lexofon, online, of course, for generating speech. Premium quality and, as I said, based on human voices. Clearly, our research and development has indicated that that is how we get the best results. We already have publicly satisfied clients, so these companies immediately are paying clients of ours, even though we just started, showing clearly the need for this. Here are some of these cases which are recent and fresh, because we just started. So if you want to listen to audiobooks with AI voice, you can do that. And when you look at these individuals here, this is Karla. She's the voice of the metro, for instance. Helsingin yliopisto, Hakaniemi, Herttoniemi, etc. That's her. And I also recommend everyone to go to tekoälyradio.fi. Pohjoismaiden ensimmäinen tekoälyradio. Vuorokauden ympäri. Uusinta musiikkia. So the news, weather, everything, AI. And the male and female on-air hosts have been produced by us. So the business model is a monthly subscription fee. They log on to their Lexofon account, and they have licensed typically 1 or 2 voices, and then they can generate the speech they need. Top-notch quality. And our second business model, which we're looking at right now, is then to have an open service where anybody could log on, create an account, and have a large number of faces. But I'm very frank and open in pointing out that the number 1 is our key business model. That's what we're really focusing on. Here are some of these voice artists we have. And voice artist, ääniartisti, röstartist, is the term to be used, just so you know. And this is a screenshot from our website. Some of them you might who recognize at least someone there. Yeah. The name and or face might not say something, but these names are. The voices, when you hear their voice, you'll hear, like my co-founder Pasi, you'll hear ads on radio and TV every single day, tens of times, I guarantee. So, there are many different client segments, and the unfair advantages we have besides developing tech on top of existing deep tech. So to round off my presentation, I want to emphasize that the deep tech, costs hundreds of millions, tens or hundreds of millions. We're not developing that. We use the best available technologies and building upon them. That's why we've been delivering, first manually, but soon automatically in the online service. Now manually creating voices, soon online automatically. And happy to tell you about our development. We have done our homework, we have the calculations, and we're quite open about the fact that this is sort of more or less a 5-year time span we're looking at with the current founders. I've been working in AI, IT, and as a voice, for, as I said, 45 years, so I'm not going anywhere, but this is the work we're doing right now, very intensely and in a focused manner with clearly indicated investment rounds here. So if someone happens to know someone who wants to join in on this really great opportunity, we have a round open right now. We have clients, and we will have more clients throughout this autumn, the winter, and of course also in the spring. But happy to tell you more exactly what this is about. I'm out of time. So I thank you very much for your time and attention, and we will gladly tell you more. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Reidar. Now we know the face for the voice we all heard more than once. Anteeksi, kiitos ja anteeksi. I think that's the way we used to say when we were studying. And fourth, last of the round, a company called Catalist, and Jalmari Jalasvirta, 10 minutes, please.
Thank you, Petri. So, thank you, Petri, for inviting me here today. It was quite on short term. I found out that we get the point for today on last Friday, so thank you for that. I'm Jalmari Jalasvirta, and I'm here to present to you about our company, Catalist. What we have created is a situational awareness platform that, because of the world and nowadays the data amounts are so massive that it is impossible for executives to actually know what's going on in the unexpected world. Like I said, Catalist we brought up in 2017. The founders started to work on the company idea behind Catalist, and how we got to where we are now is that we were thinking about how to solve this dilemma. And we started it out in a scientific study with Aalto University in 2019. This study was for 3 years, and it was published in the Nature magazine. So we are based on a scientific background. And this is about social physics and how to connect interconnectivities in massive amount of data, what are the cause and effect relationships, and how to find out about these things. So what we did at this time was before even AI was, before GPT models, before LLM models, and we realized that this is possible. Now, of course, nowadays this is much easier with the new AI models, and we are, of course, implementing these in the same way that we did the research. And the dilemma is that we have information overload, we have an abundance of data, but there is really hard to find out this kind of actionable insights from this data. And it's fragmented into a lot of different departments and a lot of external, internal sources. And how to take advantage of this amount of data is really hard. So this brings us to the last point of this slide. This is that when there's something unexpected happening in the world, inside or outside the company, it's usually first goes to somebody's table, or it's happening outside the company, and it's really hard to get this in immediately, because when you in this time of day in the world, you need to have immediate actions to these problems that come up and react to them before they become bigger issues. So what we have created is, like I said, a situational awareness platform that provides you with, if you go into the service, we provide you with real-time monitoring of internal and external data. And this, how does this work is that when you have your internal company, internal data, of course, you know everything. You know, when it's a small company, let's say less than 50 people, you know everybody in the company, you know their friends, their wives, their habits, their behavings, and all this kind of information. But when you go to a bigger level, bigger size, and you have thousands of employees, tens of thousands of employees, or even multinational companies, different cultures, different everything, then the strategic level only knows about processes and if the processes are done or not. But with our system, we can monitor from external sources all around outside the company what is happening and what's going on, which is outside of the normal scope of knowledge. This, of course, we analyze and we provide actionable insights, and we can, like I said, the scientific study, we learned that we can actually see a lot of different things happening that is impossible for the human brain to realize about even. And how we provide this information, of course, when you have a lot of data, it's necessary to have different kind of view in the same data. For me or for Petri, we are interested in totally different things depending on our position. So we compartmentalize the data into different insights. It's depending on your position. For example, the CISO is only interested about the cybersecurity issues and problems with this kind of area. HR probably interested about what employees are talking about in social media outside the company. CEOs, CFOs, maybe if the patents have leaked in the dark or deep web, if this is going to be an issue, other kind of issues. But basically, we provide a small amount of data, a small amount of insight only for that role-specific position. Of course, you can go deeper into the data, and you can go all the way to the actual insight where the data is found. And not to just provide data, because this is, of course, very nice. We provide actionable insights into these, actionable points, how to solve these issues, and where they came from, why they happened. And this is ready-made task for delegation into your organization. So if you need to, in the HR department, need to delegate stuff, it's ready-made into points These are mostly just a finite amount of issues that you can have ready set and then follow up on these problems. And then how we provide this report or these insights in one way is that we also help the company to develop the employees. If they have issues, for example, with cybersecurity, we provide with small, short training material in video format. And when we started to do about how to think about how to present this like findings or reports or whatever, nobody wants to read anymore. Everybody wants to have small and nice videos to look at. So then we kind of spin out this product that I'm going to show you next, that I made this video today for you guys. And we made a model that we can basically take my likeness and make any kind of, make me talk about anything, anywhere in the world, basically in any language. So this is one way to give out the information and training materials and other insights from the stuff that we find out.
Hello, AI Monday. I'm here to present our AI avatar video model.
At Catalist, we leverage this powerful tool for automating targeted training materials, news updates, and blogs that we share with our audience.
Imagine being able to create high-quality, customized videos in multiple languages, all without the need for a camera crew or post-production teams.
This is precisely what our AI avatar video model makes possible.
So this is the one way that we learned that it's easy to represent. This is a spin-out. If you're interested in this kind of product, we also provide this through another company. And it's basically made for us, but when we did it, we realized that this might be something that anybody could be interested in who needs to do continuous videos, for example, teaching materials or updates or internal company messages. So this is one part. For Catalist, we're building it at the moment. We have almost 90% ready, but we're looking for funding, of course, at the moment. And that's just about it from me. So please contact me if this is something that interests you.
Thank you. May I ask all the presenters to join the stage for a few minutes? Let's take questions. And Sampo, have we got questions from the line?
Yeah, one warm-up question actually from online. So what's your favorite AI startup you're following other than your own startup?
Yeah. Let's make the whole round so that the microphone passes to Ida.
Well, I don't think if OpenAI is anymore one, but let's say that one.
For me, I use daily, well, I'm hoping that Copilot could do presentations at the moment for ready use, but that's just the one I'm following, and it's not a startup.
Well, I have to admit that it's also Copilot, because that's what we are implementing on top of our technology.
Yeah, well, hard to say which one of the international startups I would mention, but I have to say I was quite convinced by Puhuva Tuote here today and gave me the most thoughts. So right now, on top of my mind, I have Puhuva Tuote more than anything else.
Yes.
And I will stick to Finnish AI startups because that's our focus currently. 50 startups in the network. I could mention, for example, Root Signals, who is one of the latest ones to get funding. I think it was a 2.5 million euros funding round, which is, I think, a great achievement.
Hey, out of the quick question from me. Out of the 4 startups here, I think. Reidar, you mentioned that you are willing to take some money in, but how about the others? So hands up who have a possibility who are interested in to gain angels or VCs to join your gang. Okay. Yes. All right. Hey, let's take a few questions from the audience. Patrick.
Hello. I liked Reidar's comment. Actually, your product is now that you have the companies like making the sound of somebody of you. But as a customer, I maybe would be like to have I can choose who is the voice artists. And this would also bring the voice artists to the front if you could choose the name that, oh, I want Radars. Radar giving the book, reading the book or something. Or Radar would tell about the product, like orally. What about this that the customer could choose? And then I have a comment for you also about the product, but maybe you
Yeah, I mean, we provide some of these top-notch voices, and we'll do that in other countries as well within the next 12 months, increasingly. But I've also run into the situation, actually already 2 companies are in this, quite far in discussions with us, where the managing director in one case and the product owner in another wants to have their voice as the voice of what they are talking about when they tell about their company, their products, etc. And we're happy to accommodate that as well, of course. The key here, I think, is to have the voice which best suits the purpose, the brand, frankly, and that is what we have worked a lot on.
So you could have a drunk person in Alko to give about the wines or something like that.
Sure.
A question to you, actually, or a comment to you. So you have this puhuva tuote. So you really like your presentations said that you have like this QR code on the product. But wouldn't it be more cost efficient in many places to have it on the shelf? Like in Alko, you could have some comment about for what food is this wine suitable or things like this, and that could be maybe on the shelf, so you don't need to have it on all bottles which are produced somewhere in Chile and Argentina and France and so on.
Yeah, of course you can implement the solution in many ways. The key point is that physical products are totally underutilized channel. Like you own the products, you own the shelf space there, and the product goes home with you. And, you know, think of your toothpaste at home, or think of your dishes like there, or think of your, you know, cleaning products at home, just scanning the code and getting advice on how do I get rid of this stain. So it's a longer experience with the product. It doesn't start it starts at the store, but it continues throughout your life, or the product's life, if you will.
Yeah, on the other hand, on the meat package, I maybe wouldn't like to know what is the name of the cow who gave the life for this meat.
Understandable.
Maybe I give the floor to others.
Sampo, please. Or did you have a question?
No, let's take from the audience, yeah.
Yeah, let's take from the audience. Any questions? Hands up.
Thanks, really nice talks. I have also to puhua tuota one question, like cross-product and cross-brand, like sharing, like for example, as a customer, if I want to ask something, I don't want to repeat it necessarily, but also from the insights perspective. So have you looked into this? Do you have something like a Supercell ID or something like that coming up?
Sorry, was there a question?
Yeah, and so the question was like kind of cross-product and cross-brand insights. Like, can I like tell something what was asked about some competitor's product, for example?
All right.
Like
So
this,
of course, the product information that comes from a physical product, or it can of course be a service product as well. That insight belongs to the product owner or the service owner. So unless they share it, it's not available. So the knowledge that the AI has and accumulates is isolated from the insights that it accumulates. So you cannot ask from the product, hey, what was asked before by someone else, or what was the insight? But let's say that in a case of multiple products by same product owner or manufacturer, they can refer to each other. So they can refer like this product, well, I'm not an expert of cleaning house, as I'm a toothpaste, but sometimes I'm used to clean up something from my clothes. But here's another AI that can help you with that.
Imagine if the product would have sense of humor. If I would ask for my toothbrush that you know, how long do you last? And then I would, can I use you for cleaning toilet? And then there would be like some really good punchlines that, yeah, sure, but do your teeth first. Okay, there was next hand in the audience, please.
Yes, I have 2 questions. First one is for, again, puhuva tuote and Radar, sorry for other ones. But how much brand likeness can you have within your products, meaning that if I'm talking to BMW brand, which is a stiff German brand, and then kind of Red Bull, which is more kind of a quirky brand, how much you can incorporate those ones?
So yeah, definitely, like, this is a whole new opportunity to kind of re-establish your brand in a totally new type of user or customer experience. So obviously there's a lot of different technologies already available, and we don't claim to have all of those technologies on our side, but there are plenty of technologies like also radars that can be utilized. So whatever is the type of brand that you want to represent, how do you want that to represent, is also, think of those like product criteria in a technical sense to feed to the system. And additionally also that it could be also personalized. So there's also opportunity how much you want to give to the customer side for them to allow how this product talks to me, like always refer me as Mr. XYZ, you know, like don't call me by my first name, always full name.
Yes, good. Anything to add, Radar?
Well, I think one of the key issues here also, just to add on to the discussion, I think something that I enjoy discussing with people also after this, for instance, is the ethics. In other words, you know, what are you really saying, and is it fake news, is it true, etc.? What's the quality of the data and all that? Then when we go to the voices, for instance, it's turned out to be really important for everyone involved that when you have a voice, for instance, telling about if there is alcohol in it, has anything to do with politics or religion or dead animals or something other which is slightly controversial, or gambling or something like that, then they should have a right to refuse that. So I think that's an important thing, and it would be really interesting to hear what others are, if anyone else is thinking about or doing something to ensure ethical compliance and full ethical transparency and stuff like that. Because our voice artists, when we make the contracts with them, they can explicitly forbid their use in many instances.
All right, fair point. Thank you. Then another question for 180 Ops. I've been working in sales too long, and kind of forecasting has been always the challenge. So kind of how to master the kind of that science. And now kind of regarding your product, are you more focused on transactional product sales, or are you forecasting as well like these big, I don't know, kind of pulp and paper machine sales and these like multi-million deals as well?
Yes, so very rarely occurring purchases like huge investments to production facilities or something like that are the more difficult side. So the best cases for us are the kind of relationships that are continuous or repetitive. So, for example, wholesales is a great example, or all the postage services are cases like that. But, for example, in case of major investment cases like industrial goods, there's always aftermarket. So the wear parts, spare parts, all the services and so on, that's where we definitely can help, because then you have the data to do predictive maintenance, analytics and wearable parts and so on. So there we can help. But investment goods are the most difficult part.
All right, a couple more questions there, please. Let's have the microphone first.
Don't usually need one, but hi, my name's Donna. This question is for the voice. Rainer, one of the things I think about is the copyright or the licensing of these voices. And there's a challenge in startups that you don't have as many resources as a big company. You don't necessarily have all of the skill sets internally. So how are you looking at, well, with licensing and copyright, if you don't assert your ownership when someone's infringing, you start to lose your rights. So is there some kind of automation for monitoring that nobody's infringing on these voices? Because if this is going to be in use more and spreading more, it'll be harder to guess which ones are legit and which ones aren't. Is that internal or subcontracted, and is it automated? Are you looking at that?
Yeah, this is my favorite topic, but I'll be really brief. We can talk a lot more. Firstly, we've retained really good lawyers from this LISA company. So we've been drafting good contracts with everybody involved in multiple different directions, looking at legislation, etc. Secondly, it is of course crucial to be looking at what is really happening online. My voice, for instance, was ripped off, and they were riffing on one of my phrases. Valitsemanne pornovideo ei juuri nyt ole katsottavissa, mutta piip on siis tarjolla. I don't say the P word, mitä olisi oikein tarjolla. But there is something tarjolla if you click here. I hadn't been asked, I get no remuneration, etc. So in this AI age, and that's why the ethical part is really important, because it demands from every one of us as individuals and as companies to be, and I'm not joking or exaggerating, we have to be a lot more ethical than before. Because it's so easy to slip, okay, I'll just do this little thing with ChatGPT, claim it's mine, etc., get paid for it. It's so easy to do that with voices as well. So I was in Iltalehti together with Scarlett Johansson in an article because they did to her what they did. And there was a similar thing with me. So we are, and I round off by saying, we are spending a lot of resources, human resources, money, expertise on the problem, and it's never going to go away as an area that we need to tackle and work on a lot.
One more question, and I think then it's 25 past. Anyone in the audience? Do sample check from the line as well? There's one question from the back row.
Yeah, hello. Jussi Rantsi from Finnish AI region, FAIR. My question goes to Jalmari. So Catalist, you mentioned these actionable insights that are provided for the, let's say, the executive or the manager. Can you give some more examples on that and how that takes into consideration the particular organization and information about the organization? So what is actually an actionable insight in this sense?
So thanks. Good question. I can give you an example of, let's go, because we provide in different areas. One area is cybersecurity. If there is something that has been leaked in the dark or deep web, we'll find out about this through continuous monitoring. We provide an actionable insight that, hey, this was found here from where, and what to do next, how to do it, and what could be the result if you don't do this. So this is one example. Of course, this can be implemented into media side, that this kind of talk is happening, and everything we do is based on a domain, so it could be catalist.fi. So we scan a lot of different data points, and there's only a set amount of actions that can be done in the top level, and then you go down and implement them into whatever the system is in your company. You get the answer? Yeah, thanks.
All right, hey, big thanks for you guys. Don't quite go yet there anywhere. Next AI Monday in Helsinki, I believe, is 5 weeks from today. And the theme will be AI Act, Data Act, all those... say again? Laws and regulations. So those things that hopefully make us European clever, yet not lose the game, because there are other continents who do not have these rule games. But Dance Studios is running these AI Monday events in about a dozen of other European cities outside of Finland. So ai-monday.de, like Germany, is the web page where you, I think, got yourself into this event. But there is all kinds of events going in Düsseldorf and Berlin, and you name the cities there. So if Helsinki is quiet, there are other cities who are not. And with that, I'd like to close the line there. And those of us who are here, let's network and have questions and discussions with these ladies and gentlemen, but also anybody in the audience. So I think we can close the official part. See you in 5 weeks from Helsinki, and the discussion continues here. Big thanks, everyone. Thanks.